Listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, April 30th, and I thank you once again for joining in to our weekly PPACA webinars. As I mentioned, we are trying to, during this off-season for the open enrollment period for the under 65 health, we're trying to offer some sales ideas every other week to help you, of course, earn new clients, pardon me, excuse me, earn new clients and also earn new income sources. So just for those of you that are regular listeners to our weekly webinars, if you can just give a hand up with your little icon if you can see my agenda. Thank you, David. I appreciate that, all of you. Okay, great. For those of you that are new and you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand icon like you just did, or you can type in the question in your question box and we'll answer it at the end of the webinar. So, today, as we talked about last week, we are having Karen McDaniel on the call, and Karen McDaniel is URL's Director of Medicare Operations and Compliance, and she's going to talk a little bit about some sales ideas for lockdown, or the correct terminology I'm sure she'll give you, but locking in your Medicare clients and some sales ideas. So thank you, Karen, so much for joining us, and she is going to now take over the screen.
Great. Thank you, Deb, and thank you, everyone, again, for joining us today. I will be talking about the lock-in opportunities, but this can also be a way to lock down your Medicare clients, as Deb said. So if you are familiar with the Medicare selling season, right now we are in the lock-in period. But believe it or not, the Medicare open enrollment period is just around the corner. We should probably be getting information about certification sometime in mid-June, early July. So stay tuned for more information from that. We'll be sending out emails and mailers about our certification classes that we hold annually, and also our Medicare Connections meeting that we will be holding at the end of August in Hershey. But today I want to talk about the lock-in opportunities that you still can take advantage of during this time of the year. One of the main ones, of course, is your agents. That's people that are turning 65. You have your dual eligible population. Those are clients who are Medicare and Medicaid eligible. You have your clients that have special election periods, and that could be whether they're moving to another area and they need to pick a new plan, loss of employer coverage, and loss of medical assistance, meaning that they were on Medicaid, but they're losing that, and now they have to pick a new plan. But what I really want to focus on today are the ancillary products for the senior population. And if you were on the webinar a couple weeks ago when Christy Saul was presenting, she talked about the ancillary products for people that were under 65. And now I want to talk about some of the products you can sell for your Medicare-aged clients. The first type of plan are the hospital indemnity plans, and these pay a set amount per day if your client is confined in a hospital. They help offset the inpatient hospital stay copay on a Medicare Advantage plan. All Medicare Advantage plans have either a per-day copay or a flat one-time copay. Doesn't matter what kind of plan it is, these plans will work with either of those. The plans that we sell have between a $100 to $600 daily benefit. They are 6 to 90-day benefit periods. 6 to 90-day benefit periods are available. There are additional riders that can be added on to this. You add on a DME rider, ambulance, AD&D, outpatient surgical rider. There are a couple other ones. And ages 40 to 89 are eligible. So just because you want to maybe offer these to people that have Medicare Advantage plans, they do not need to be on a Medicare Advantage plan. They will work for anybody of age 40 to 89. And the carriers that offer the product are GTL, Medico, and Equitable. And if you are coming to our Leaders Conference next Thursday in Hershey, GTL will be a presenter. So if you're signed up, you'll get to hear more information about these products. If not, Dimitri, who is our rep for GTL, will be in the expo hall, and you'll be able to stop by the booth and learn more information. The next product is the cancer, heart attack, and stroke product. And these products help protect income and savings from expenses that are covered by major medical coverage if your client should have a cancer, heart attack, cancer issue, heart attack, or stroke. There are $5,000 to $75,000 benefit options available. They are guaranteed renewable as long as the premium is paid. And for this product, ages 18 through 89 are eligible. So again, it doesn't have to be somebody who is Medicare eligible. And the carriers to offer this product are, again, GTL, Medico, Equitable, and Continental Life Insurance. And the final product I want to talk about briefly are the short-term care plans. These are good solutions for short-term nursing home facility and assisted living facility coverage. The client will qualify for benefits if they cannot perform two or more of the 6 activities of daily living, or if they have a cognitive impairment. They have daily benefits from $10 to $300. There is a 0 to 100-day elimination period available. Again, guaranteed renewable as long as the premium is paid. And ages 40 to 89 are eligible. And the carriers that offer this product are GTL, Medico, Equitable, and Continental Life. And I do want to note that if you are currently contracted to sell either the Medico, Equitable, or Aetna Health and Life, American Continental Insurance, Medicare supplement plans, you are contracted to sell these products. There is no additional contracting that is needed. And there are underwriting questions that will need to be answered for all of these plans, not as many as you would for a traditional Medicare supplement plan, but there are a couple. So if you need to find more information about these plans, you can go to our website, URL, insgroup.com, scroll over departments, senior care products, product information, and then click on product information. It'll take you to this page, and you scroll all the way down, and you'll go to the senior ancillary products carrier page, and you'll see all the carriers listed there. And if you need more information, here are the contacts for myself, Karen McDaniel, Janine Kramis, and Alyssa Panaya. I will be staying on until the end of the webinar if there's any other questions, and I'll hand it back to you, Deb.
Excellent. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that information. Hopefully all of you have found that helpful. I at least learned the terminology, the correct terminology, so I guess my job here today is done. I've learned something. I can go home. But, thanks again, Karen, and she will be on the call until the end, so if you have questions specific to the products that Karen discussed, then please just type in your question or raise your hand, and you'll get to ask that question of Karen. So we're going to just continue on with the agenda, and the next bullet point is the Geisinger special election period for people losing minimum essential coverage for off-exchange only. They are now taking applications until the end of the month. So previously, before this announcement, they were only taking them to the 15th. So it does open a little bit more time for those that are losing minimum essential coverage. Today is April 30th, so the next bullet point I've kind of, had a little bit of fun with, but this is the last day for enrollment for what I will term the lived under a rock special election period. And of course, what this means is if somebody is currently not insured for 2015, had to pay a penalty for not having coverage in 2014, and can attest that they only really learned about this tax penalty after the open election period was over on February 15th, then they qualified for a special election period. And that ran from March 15th until today. So if you do have any clients that call you, just make sure that you ask those items. Are they insured currently on the FSM? No. Did they have to pay a tax penalty from filing their taxes in 2014? Hopefully that's a yes. And as far as the testing that they only learned about it, that's pretty subjective. But, those are the 3 items that they have to agree to in order to get in with a special election period. Even if they are not subsidy eligible, the only way to obtain a special election period is through healthcare.gov. The next item is Himark Grandmothering. I consider this good news for those groups that are from 2 to 50 that have a renewal starting with 7/1 of this year through 12/1 of this year. They will be given the opportunity once again to retain their non-PPACA grandmothered plan. For many groups, this is certainly an advantage as the premiums are still a bit lower because they don't have all of the 10 essential health benefits as a PPACA compliant plan would. So definitely worth looking at, and that starts with renewal 7/1. We talked last week about Aetna offering this option as well, and that also, I believe, starts with 7/1 effective date. But you know what? Right now I can't pull up the information, so I'll check on that, and I'll just update all of us next week or 2 weeks from now on the webinar. 2 weeks ago we had Assurance. We had Phil Mishler talk about the short-term medical products, and Assurance does definitely have a good short-term medical product. We have others available, such as Cat Blue Cross, Himark Blue Shield, Western Himark Blue Cross Blue Shield, IHC. So there are other short-term products available. And the reason that I tell you this is just to be mindful that I did receive a call, and this information will be in my newsletter, that Assurance is for sale. Their medical section of the company, as well as their employee benefits, such as their work site programs. It is all for sale. From what they're telling me, they have an interested buyer, so it should be a pretty seamless transition. But the information, again, is in my newsletter. They've not been competitive in the major med market. They are doing very well in the employee benefit market, and the reason they kind of combine them together, from what the article seems to imply, is that it's a bit more of an attractive offer for potential buyers to have a profitable piece with the medical piece. So the next bullet point, May 14th at 2 o'clock, we are having a webinar, and it's going to be specific to measurement periods. Now, of course, this year, groups of 100 plus have to get their measurement periods in place so that they offer coverage to the appropriate people and don't miss anybody. But next year, if everything, if nothing changes, the 50 plus will also have to adhere to this. So it's not too early to start thinking about that for the smaller groups, but it is a very confusing topic, and we've offered a seminar actually on this before and a webinar, but I felt that it was timely as we're getting closer to these dates to once again revisit measurement periods. So Steve Jackson from PrimePay is going to be holding that webinar for us, and the invitation is in my newsletter, and it will also be going out separately. So hopefully you can attend. Even if you can't, please sign up for it, because you will automatically get a recording that you can listen to at your leisure. So this question, the next bullet point, has been in the last several weeks, and I ask again, how can I help you? What is it that you're struggling with the law that you'd want to learn more about, or products? We do have some downtime here outside of the open enrollment period, so let me know. Either email me privately or type that suggestion in the question box, and I'm happy to at least bring in the guest speakers that are needed to help with the topic, or kind of focus on those topics myself. Next bullet point, there's no webinar next week due to URL leaders URL's Leaders Conference, which is set to take place on the 7th. So, of course, I won't be here, so no webinar. The next webinar will be the 14th, the following week. For those of you that have been to the Giant Center in our suite for the Hershey Bears or anything else, the Bears will play on Friday, which is tomorrow, 7 p.m. game. So if any of you are interested in, getting tickets, let me know. I'm not sure how many tickets we actually have available, and it's certainly short notice. But if you have an interest, just shoot me an email or give me a call, and I'll see if I can secure some tickets for you. And that's pretty much it. That brings us up to the end of the agenda. Again, I thank Karen for joining in, and I'll give people a couple minutes here to type in their questions. And well, we have a couple. Scott says, can you please repeat Himark grandmothering provision? Sure can, Scott. For small groups 2 to 50 with Himark, they are going, pardon me, these groups that haven't already transitioned to a PPACA compliant plan, they're currently on a non-PPACA compliant plan, starting with 7/1 renewals through 12/1 renewals. They will be given the option, as they were last year, to retain that non-PPACA plan. If they have an HSA compliant plan, they can change to a similar or different HSA compliant plan. And if it's a PPO copay, they can also switch to a similar PPO copay type plan. This would be retaining their grandmothering provision and would essentially buy an extra 12 months of not having to move to a totally PPACA compliant plan, which often brings more expense. So let's see here. Tracy has a long question. She says, let everyone know and beware that she had a client who never got a bill from the carrier and was canceled for non-payment. So the FFM put her through as a special election period and renewed her plan and sent an escalation to have the plan backdated to 1/1. When the escalation team reviewed the case, they just canceled her out again, never told the client. Tracy only found out because she went into her case to follow up on the backdating for the 1/1. She says, long story short, she has not health insurance now until it gets reviewed again. They have too much power over there. Very scary. Well, yeah, I mean, we've heard numbers of cases like this, that things just fall through the cracks. Tracy, you're just a warrior with the FFM, and I appreciate the information. Hopefully everybody on the call also does, for those that do business in the FFM. The latest issue is subsidies being terminated because there's a discrepancy in the tax documentation that was either sent in or pulled from the tax record. So it's quite a mess. If you have any issues such as these, just let me know. I'll try to help as much as I can. I've been in contact with the Pennsylvania Insurance Department and hoping that we can get some sort of resolution, because resolution is not coming from the FFM, that's for sure. So thanks, Tracy, for sharing that. And that actually looks like the end of the questions. So I'll give a few seconds here if anyone has any last-minute questions they'd like to add, but just so you understand, next webinar is Thursday, May 14th, not next week. I appreciate everyone, as always, joining in. And for those of you that have qualified for our Leaders Conference or are attending the May 7th actual conference itself, I look forward to seeing you next week. And I wish all of you a great weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weather, so that's always nice. And Karen, once again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit in.
Thanks, Deb.
Oh, thank you all. All right, everyone, have a great weekend and a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.